What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to my show. This episode, I watched some fights. There were some UFC fights in Germany, Hamburg, Germany, to be exact. Headlined by Shogun versus Smith. Co-main was Glover Teixeira versus Corey Anderson. I don't know what my picks were. I know I got some right. I know I got some wrong. I didn't watch. Let's see here. I think I started somewhere in the prelims. But a lot of decisions. Almost a full card of decisions except for the main event. Anthony Smith versus Mauricio Shogun Hua. Hua has coming into this fight with a 3-fight winning streak, but only 1 fight per year for the last 3 years. So very inactive, but he is an older fighter. But yeah, Anthony Smith, second fight at light heavyweight, and just destroyed Shogun. I don't know if it's because Shogun is getting old or Anthony Smith is just that much of a beast at light heavyweight. But yeah, Shogun really wasn't able to do anything, and he got fucking just knocked out on his feet with an elbow up against the cage. It was a gnarly knockout. Good win, though, for Anthony Smith, who didn't look, he was kind of like okay at 185 where he was fighting before. But now that he's at 205, he looked good, man. He's giant. I mean, he's super tall. And, it was a really good performance. So it's weird to know if, like, maybe Shogun just fell off. Because that was kind of the same thing with Anthony Smith's last fight. He fought Sugar Shot Evans, and he's for sure fell off years ago. So it's like a win over him at light heavyweight. It's like, okay, if you're gonna do anything in the sport, that should be a fight you're gonna win and dominate. But so Shogun's been looking good though. But it has been a year. He is older. He's taken a lot of damage. All those fights in Pride, and then just epic wars just in the UFC with him and Dan Henderson. They had a fight nominated in the Hall of Fame this year. But he's had just crazy fights with like Lyoto Machida. But yeah, so interesting to see. I'd be excited if Anthony Smith, because the light heavyweight division is kind of boring right now, especially since DC is just won the heavyweight belt. So who knows if he's ever going to fight at light heavyweight again? Who's going to fight for the title? Anthony Smith did call out Glover to fill in, not Glover, but Gustafson to fill in, I guess, whoever he was fighting pulled out. So that I'd be interested. I mean, he destroyed Shogun in no time, took no damage. So if he thinks he's ready to go in late notice and fight, I'm excited for it. Corey Anderson destroyed Glover Teixeira. Amazing boxing. They kept talking about in the broadcast how Corey Anderson just recently started to train boxing and kickboxing, which I don't know how true that is, but he definitely, I mean, he's if he did and he just started learning, I mean, he's a physical talent. Like, that's something that CM Punk wishes he was, where it's like, oh, he just started learning boxing and he's like piecing up Glover Teixeira in the ring. But yeah, that was a good win. And, some good fights, even though they went to a decision, but nothing super spectacular. Good main event. And then coming up, I think there's a UFC coming up next week. July 28th, UFC on Fox. Is that right? Is that the next one? Yep. So it's not the Dillashaw one. So this one's a Fox card. Big Fox, as they would say, before it goes to ESPN. Eddie Alvarez versus Dustin Poirier. That's a rematch, which I'm looking forward to. Two great fighters. I thought the illegal knees that Eddie Alvarez threw should have been like a no contest. Jose Aldo coming back. Jose Aldo versus Jeremy Stephens. We'll see. I mean, this is kind of like, does Jose Aldo have it anymore? So that should be a good fight. Jacek is coming back against Tisha Torres. Alexander Hernandez versus Aubin Mercier. Jordan Meehan versus Alex Morano. Wow, this is a fun card. Ross Pearson's on the Fight Pass prelims. Yeah, I'm excited for that card, man. If I had to make picks, Eddie Alvarez versus Dustin Poirier. Ooh, I want to say Dustin Poirier. I just want to say that. I think Alvarez he eats too much. I mean, his last fight was against that crazy dude. I can't think of his name right now. I guess both of their fights were against. I'm excited for that fight. I don't know. I'm going Dustin Poirier. Aldo versus Stephens. I'll go Stephens. I just don't think Aldo is. I think he's got Frankie Edgar's number. Like, if he were to fight Frankie Edgar again, he'd probably win again. But I think a lot of other people might be able to beat him. But we'll see. I got Jeremy Stephens. Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Tisha Torres. Woo! I want to go Tisha Torres on this one too. But Joanna, I mean, this is one again. Both this one's like a big test for Joanna and Jose, because it's like, if either of them lose, it's like, oh, okay, they've really been knocked off their throne. So I'm going with probably who the underdogs are, Jeremy Stephens and Tisha Torres. I mean, Stephens might not be a underdog. And then I'll go with Aubin Mercier. He looked great in his last fight. He's young, but he's getting better. And I don't know who Hernandez is. Alexander Hernandez looks like it might be a late replacement or something like that. But, yeah, those are my picks for the next fight card. Headlined Eddie Alvarez versus Dustin Poirier 2, UFC on Fox. That's on July 28th. That's just in a few days, since this is coming out on Tuesday. So this, whatever. The end of the week. That's it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the UFC fights. I'm looking forward to. I'm recording this. This is coming out on a Tuesday, but I have been watching the Tuesday night Contender Series, and so many good fights. But yeah, maybe I'll do a recap of, if there's like an off week of the UFC, maybe I'll do a recap of all the fights that got signed to the UFC or something like that. That'd be fun. But anyway, if you want to follow me on social media, at Ray Taylor on Twitter and Instagram, InspiredDisorder.com, Patreon.com/InspiredDisorder. If you want to get exclusive content, all the links are right up here in the bio. Just click on the links to InspiredDisorder.com, Patreon.com, or social media. Hope you all have a great week. See you tomorrow. Peace out.